Welcome to Cross Yoga. You are at home, I am at my home, but our hearts are still connected in this slow, relaxed class. I will be massaging the shoulders with a ball. This is not a tennis ball, but you can use the tennis ball on my fascia release ball. If it had pikes on it, you might want to cover it over with a sock, put it in a sock or something to kind of avoid the pikes in your back if it feels uncomfortable. For now, you're just going to leave the ball by the side, so we'll come back to that. And find a comfortable seat. If you are super tired and need to rest, you can do so. I won't spend a lot of time in breath because I want to finish resting instead. But close your eyes. And let go of things you need to let go of right now. Surrender. And maybe even shake things out of your shoulders and your hands. Sigh out if you want to. Know that there is no problem you need to fix right now. There's nothing you need to do or to think through. This is a time of rest and restoration on the mat with yourself and with God, if you believe in God. Take 2 exaggerated deep breaths. Emptying out the lungs completely. Feeling chest and belly. When you're done with that, move your wrists. Play a bit of piano maybe. It's good for the fingers. If you do a lot of typing, doing stuff like this can be helpful for wrist issues and stuff like that. But tabletop, if you feel like stretching your legs, maybe downward facing dog before that. Extra padding on your knees, and then we go super simple cat-cow. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, spine towards the sky, nose towards the belly button. Inhale, opposite direction. And move slowly and mindful. Inhale in your cow. Exhale in your cat. And slow down if you notice that you are speeding things up. I really want you to feel like you're calming everything down, and that we do by moving slowly. Last wrap, inhale and exhale. And then you can find child's pose. Bring your knees further apart, maybe to the edge of the mat. Bring the hips towards the heels and maybe your forehead on the mat. The hands can go to the front, maybe stretching as you cross your hands somewhere in front of you. Avoid that tension of pulling the shoulders up towards the ears too much. And then try to soften everything and breathe. I will be sharing one sentence, a few words, a couple of times. And then let that speak to you as the Holy Spirit speaks to you, intuition or whatever you choose to call it. Don't be afraid of falling. Don't be afraid of falling. Slowly make your ways into a tabletop. Stack your hands under the shoulders. Avoid hyperextending the elbows. Take a deep inhale. Straighten the spine and exhale, shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to rotate arm. I'm going to start with the left arm so you can see. Bring the left arm to the front, thumbs pointing up. And then we're going to do a twist so your hip stays, but you're going to open up and do a cactus arm here at the top. So I'm going to bend the elbow 90 degrees and then extend it out from this twist towards the left side, turning the shoulders aligned with the floor again. Making the nails go in the direction of the mat, going to thread the needle so my left arm reaches down towards the mat. Gonna do this in a slow sequence. So rise up again, left arm to the front, engage the core, long spine. Bring the arm up. I'm gonna bend my elbow, open up here, get this twist in your shoulder, in your spine. Extend the arm out. Bring the shoulders aligned with the floor and then thread the needle. Let's do that 2 more times, doing it in a slow circle motion. Just breathe, whatever makes sense. Last time. And then you can stay down when you're down there with the left shoulder on the floor and take a few breaths, stretching the back of the shoulder. Release. And before we do the other side, we might find our downward facing dog to release tension for the knees. So lift the hip up and back, walking your down dog. Softness in your shoulders, in your arms. You can stay put, or if you go have a little bit extra, move to your plank for just 2 breaths. You can choose your toes, you can choose your knees. Plug the shoulders into the girdle. And then whatever position you were in, find your tabletop. Again, I will bring my hands a little bit closer and maybe shake the wrists a little bit. Doing this rotation now with right hand. So bring it to the front. Cactus arm, open up. Sometimes my lumbar spine cracks a little bit here. Extend the right arm out, closing off the shoulders aligned with the mat, and then threading the needle. 3 more times, slowly. There's a lot of rotation going on, not just in your right arm, but also in the left shoulder. And if you've been too quick, you might take 1 more before we stay down in the stretch. So stay down, Bring the right shoulder on the mat if you can reach, and move your hip to the right side. It tends to want to drop out to the left. And then slowly take a seat. If you're not comfortable sitting on the floor, you can use a chair, or you can even do this standing if you prefer. If you have been sitting the whole day, that might be nice. Now sit or stand tall and move the shoulders behind the ears. And then lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Squeeze them up. Maybe not max, but 80%. Breathe. And relax. Lift the shoulders. And relax. Two more times. Lift. And relax. Lift. And relax. And you can move your shoulders a little bit in a circle. Don't be afraid of falling. What does that mean to you? Don't be afraid of falling. Bring your right hand out on the floor or on a block if you prefer. Left arm up overhead, and then we're gonna go for a side stretch to your right side. You're gonna keep the sitting bones on the mat so you will feel the space you wanna create here in between the ribs and the side of the hip and where the ribs start on the side. Breathe. And then this top arm, bring it slowly in the direction of your right knee, so a little bit more to the front, so you do something in between a forward fold and a side bend to your right side. Stretching the tricep. Let's see some more dorsal on the back. Then lift up. Bring this top arm and bend it behind you. So you're going to bring the arm or the hand behind your back to the degree that you can. Top shoulder moves up and back, and then do a kind of rotation. Actually, you might take a hold of your shoulder and move it up and back. So you're still to the side stretch here, but taking the hand behind you, stretching into the front of the shoulder girdle. Relax. Bring your left hand down, going for the side stretch first, directly to the side, not leaning back. Big breaths. And then bring it in between the side stretch and the forward fold to your left side, like you want to reach something. You don't bring the arm all the way down, you're going to keep it up to some degree. Why are you afraid of falling? And I don't think just physically, like falling, but also spiritually or mentally. Keep that thought going as you bring your right hand on the right shoulder, move it up, and now you can rotate a little bit back and then bend the elbow and bring the hand behind you. If I meditate on why I am afraid of falling, it actually comes to two things: loss of control and fear of pain. Loss of control and fear of pain. Let go. And then you can bring your legs out to the side, feet pointing up. If you're rounding your spine, you can bring something underneath your knee joint, maybe even your fists in one or the other direction, if that helps you sit taller and sit more comfortable. If you're like, I'm good here, I can do more, you can always lean forward. See if you can find any relaxation in your thighs. You can always massage the leg a little bit. As you lean forward, try to lean forward with the navel first, then the chest. Staying for a few more breaths. Slowly take a seat. And two more things before we use the ball. You're going to come down prone, which means on your belly. Because we did a forward fold, then it might be nice with a bit of a back bend. If you really love Cobra, you can do Cobra. But I want to soften things up and take it easy on the shoulders. I'm doing sphinx pose, which is elbows underneath the shoulders. You're going to bring the shoulder back and maybe, depending on what you feel like, squeeze the shoulder blades together or do a little bit more relaxed posture, feeling something most likely in the middle of your back. Lift the head up so you're not looking down. Toenails on the floor. You can have some distance in between your feet. Relax your glutes. Being afraid of falling depends on what we're falling into. If I am in a kid's playroom where they have all this, I don't know what to call it, kind of rubber soft things you can kind of just jump into and don't get hurt, then I'm not afraid of falling, right? It's just fun. So if you fall, where do you think you're falling? And you can relax as you think about this. Bring your forehead on the stacked stance. So falling, maybe mentally, where do you think you're falling? Bring your hands out to the side so you get the cactus arms going. So 90-degree angle in the elbows, and the elbows are aligned with the shoulders. If the shoulders are aligned with the short end of the mat, so are the elbows, at least to begin with. You're gonna engage the glutes and the lower back, navel in if you can feel that, and then lift up, keeping the arms where they are but elevated. And from this lift, bring the elbows in towards each other on the back. And you don't have to go far. Bring them a little bit out again and lower down. And that's what we're going to do a few more times. Lifting up, elbows in, up towards the sky, in towards each other. Don't let them reach too far. Relax in between. Do the last one. If you don't have a ball or don't want to do this myofascial release self-massage, you can finish the video now or just rest. We're just going to use this for a couple of minutes, and when I learned this, it almost changed my physical well-being. You are going to do a massage of the muscles that are bringing the shoulder blade in towards the spine, so to say, and a lot of other things. So you can most likely see my shoulder blade sticking out here. I'm going to bring the ball somewhere at the top here, and then maybe somewhere down here, but it really depends on what you feel feels good. We are not going to massage the scapula or the shoulder blade itself. It's going to be the soft tissue. And you are going to put the ball down and then bring yourself onto the ball. So you're resting on the ball. I'm going to go on my right side now, which means I'm going to take my right hand or arm and bring it a little bit across myself, not pulling it, but this will move the shoulder blade a little bit out so the ball can better get in on the soft tissue there behind. So you can always move a little bit up and down and figure out, especially if this is completely new to you, what's going on underneath the shoulder blade. And it might be more tender, or hopefully not painful, but tender than you would think. And you can lean less or more into it. So 2 spots in this place. We're going to stay still. So find a spot and stay there and breathe. Relax. If it's painful, move away. I don't want you to be in pain because that activates your sympathetic nervous system, and we don't want that. We want you to relax. Then you can move either up or down and figure out a new spot. And when you're ready, rest. I don't think we can ever get rid of the fear of falling. But what can help me is to trust that when and if I'm falling, I will fall into the loving hands of God. I will fall into grace. I will fall into forgiveness. So I will try to walk my path in life without fear of stumbling. Of course, not being irresponsible, but without fear of falling, because that will hold me back. Let's slowly move to the other side. Same thing, other side. Bring in this case, left arm, cross it over yourself. Whatever you do with your legs, what makes sense. I like to keep my legs a little bit bent and supporting. Make sure you don't get cold, though some of you might take socks on. Pause and breathe. Move around and find the second spot, maybe higher, maybe lower. And avoid moving the whole time. It might feel nice, but also try to just rest. Again, to get into this parasympathetic nervous activation, which is actually very soothing and also pain relieving to some extent. Found the second spot, rest there. And as you are on the floor, listen to this verse about falling. Matthew 10, it's the New Testament. Jesus is saying this. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground apart from the will of your Father. And when even the very hairs of your head are all numbered, so don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. Even the sparrows don't fall to the ground without our Father in heaven knowing this. So much less us. Remove the ball and bring yourself down to the ground for a bit of rest. You can pause the video now and put on a timer if you want, like 10 minutes. I would recommend that, but I won't stay for that long in the video. Let the feet fall apart. And hands on the floor. Don't be afraid of falling. Through the grace of God, He will rise us again. Heal our wounds, our pain. So let's walk, maybe even run forward without the fear of falling. Slowly finish our class. If you're ready to take a seat, before you do that, you might wiggle your fingers and then put your hands on your chest or belly, whatever. Listen or pray with me as I finish. God, thank you that we can fall into your grace, into your arms. Thank you that you hold on to us. Amen. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for today's class.